Afternoon, people. Afternoon. What is happening? Happy Monday, as they say. I hope each and every time that we are well. Yes, the tea is here. Someone asking about the tea. Some Christmas tea today. Mulled wine tea. Unbelievable. Anyway, people, first of all, I hope that the energy and the vibrations are good in the community. They seem that they are. I've seen a lot of you was on Curtis. Curtis did a monster stream earlier. I had to nip out, do the school run. I came back and he was still on. So he had a long one today. He had a long one. And I think a lot of people needed that therapy. That is for sure. And if you also need normal therapy, check out the Green Mind. We did a good stream last night. I think there's about 5 or 6 of us in there, but we got through some good stuff, some very, very good stuff. So make sure you go and check that out. As always, if you didn't have a good week last week, this is your week, okay? Don't ever get down. It's easier said than done, but just think about the journey that you are on now. And I hope everyone had a great weekend, regardless of the result. I hope that you looked at other things and you just said, that's the result. It's uncontrollable. And you keep moving forward with yourself and your family. So that's the main thing. As you know, positive vibes all around. So let me see who is in the building. Social, as always, blessing us with your presence. Craig, as always, big up Fran. He's having a chamomile manuka honey tea. Yes, there you go. I've got one on the teas. Simon saying big up Fran, big up to yourself, Simon. Salman, as always, in the building, saying shout out to everyone. Tony C's here and he's saying hi Fran, everyone. Brought back down to earth with that performance at Liverpool, just not good enough. Chelsea's in the building as well. We had a great weekend. Very good performance from Chelsea. I mean, they look very, very strong. That is for sure. That Qatar F1 race definitely up to my mood. I mean, you know, Lewis Hamilton, every time when his back's against the wall, he proves. I mean, he's probably one of the greatest. I think if he wins one more, is he the greatest or he's taken over Schumacher? But, I mean, he's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal. Shrivix in the building, he say, I prefer not to speak about you know what, because if I speak, I'm deluded or negative, or I'm a Spurs fan. It's about time the positivity merchants had their eyes open. And I think we'll touch on that because I think Curtis got quite a bit of stick as well over the weekend. And I think there's both arguments for both sides. I really do. Without just trying to sound political or sitting on the fence, I think there's an argument for both sides. So like you say, we'll get into it. Ashton is saying, didn't even watch the game. Having too much fun with my cousins on Saturday. Yeah, big shout out. That's what you got to do. I didn't watch the game. I ran over it, watched the highlights, and we'll touch on the goals and we'll get them on, similar to what Kurt does as well, and we'll have a quick gander through them, obviously without playing the full video. What's up, everyone? We're still poor. Hey, listen, but we're rich. Listen, it sounds nonsense when it's very hard to not think about, obviously, money, etc., and things like that. Come on now, it's what makes the world go round. But if we can look at it different, actually, a quote that I seen today in this, I think, was it from The Secret? It wasn't in The Secret book, but it was from The Secret Daily Newsletter, and it was on about, if we focus on being poor, we remain poor. And if we focus on wealth, we end up getting wealth. It's as simple. So, hey, I know it's all a bit of banter, Jesus, but, just remember that you're rich in here and in here, and eventually that will change. I can tell you that. I am pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. I just checked out your crypto channel. Very interesting, Sulak. Thanks ever so much. It's very brief. It's very, very simple because I still now, when I got into crypto and when I'm in it now, it's overcomplicated. So just try and keep it simple. Talk about the price, talk about the areas I'm looking for, and go from there. Simple as that. I've got a stream with the mentor that I pay for tonight. So I'll know my levels for the week and we'll see what's what. But next year, I'm just going to be lasered in and out of the trading alongside doing this. And we've really got to make 2022 the year where we come alive when it comes to YouTube big time. So we'll see. Curb Glass Fran, remember me saying I'll eat my hat if we win? We never stood a chance. Chelsea's playing. I was disappointed in Arsenal. I really thought you would get a draw and give us a helping hand, a few more points in front. I did think that we would go. I didn't think we would win. I think a great result would have been a draw, in my opinion. But they got outplayed. What's up, Fran? Hope all is well, brother. I hope you are good as well. Jonathan Thumbs in the building. He is saying, What is your thoughts on the first half? Because we got a couple of breakaway and the team still lacks that final pass with poor decision making. Do you blame the coach for the players' poor decisions? No, I don't. I actually think that you can only blame a player for poor decisions. And that's my argument when I talk about the Man United players. The Man United players are individual errors. Yes, the system doesn't really work, but the Man United players down tools and made individual errors week after week. And the fact that Ole was the manager, it took it away from how bad Man United players were. But they've got what they wanted now, and let's see how they respond. It'll be interesting. Brandon, afternoon, Fran, the community. Hope all is well. Been a tough 2 weeks, lost 2 family members. But this week started well. I got a promotion at work. And like you say, there's always something around the corner. Like you say, we said it last week. Prayers and blessings go out to you and the family for losing the loved ones. But if you are religious or whatever you may be, you know that they've gone to better places and they would want you to do what you're doing now, which is keep moving forward, Brandon. So again, love as always. Love as always. Jesus, poor is a mentality, bro. You're broke, my friend, just like me and everyone who can't manage money the best. Listen, I spent nearly every penny I've ever earned and probably will continue to. But you know what? It is what it is, people. It is what it is. We're the next tier below Liverpool and City. Let's have a look now. Davies put, hope you saw that Curtis show. That was one of the best ones I've seen for a long time. Not going to lie. As long as all humans keep it unbiased, and that's the key to success as a creator, Mark Goldbridge. And listen, you've got to keep it your way. You know, you got to keep it your way. That is for sure. That is for sure. Sammy saying Arteta is a Spanish Big Sam Fran. Condolences to Brandon and the family. I know the community. Big shout out. Saka can't shoot to save his own life, Fran. Listen. Right then, people. Right then, people. We've got quite a lot in the chat. Absolutely love it, people. Keep firing them in. Keep firing them in. Okay? Spend your money how you... What Brandon... Where's Brandon? Buenos Aires is just put. Spend your money how you want. Can't take it when you pass. Can't take it with you. One of the biggest things in the, you know what, the Bible, cannot take it with you. But does make things a little bit easier. But it don't bring happiness. That's in here, people. That is in here. So, the game quickly. And then we'll just run over the goals, okay? So the game. A lot of people... And I've seen some negativity when I've gone on social. You know, I'm not a massive fan of social media. And I'll go in on for a little bit and I'll come out of it for a little bit. I'm not a massive fan of getting all people riled up and that. I say what I've got to say and then I come out and take a step back. I'm just not into that. Okay, so... But I've seen a lot of people, especially towards Curtis and towards other people, you know, saying, oh, all of a sudden it's now Arteta out. It's Arteta's fault, etc. after a 10-game run. I just want to make it very clear the way that I am. We limped through 10 games. And I've always said, just not convinced he's the right person. We limped through 10 games, had 2.5 good performances. Okay. And the first time we faced a decent team, we look miles off it. Okay. Miles off it. So I think we've just been humbled, and whether you're Arteta in, whether you're Arteta out, whether you blame the players, whether you don't blame the players, right? No one's right and no one's wrong because it's a personal opinion. However, it would be nice if people would not think that they're always right and look at it from a different perspective and try and understand other people. I know that's hard, don't get me wrong, but people think if you're wrong, and they're right, then they're right all the time. You know, it doesn't work like that. Everyone has different beliefs and different perspective. Mine is, I want Arsenal to win. And whoever gets me those results, I will back. If they're not getting me the results, I will then start picking it bit by bit while they're not getting the results. I understand we're not at the level of Liverpool. Nowhere near we are at level of the top 3. We are trying to get that 4th spot. I genuinely don't think that we will get the 4th spot. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think we'll get the 4th spot. But a lot of people would say, but Fran, Arteta is the man for the journey and for this, whatever they're going to use the P word for now. And I get that argument. Does that sit right with me? No, because I want my team to compete with the best, but they can't at the moment. So I'm going to get a little bit frustrated. However, I'm not going to start ranting and raving and start wanting a man to get the sack. I'm just not going to do that, especially at the moment because he's done okay. He's done okay. So we will see. That's when it comes to performance. So let's go into the actual game. I'm going to share the screen with you, as always, and go through a few things. I think a lot of you have already probably seen this earlier on Curtis's. You've probably seen it earlier on Curtis's. So let's make that a little bit bigger. Like you say, you can't, for copyright reasons, you can't really go over quite a lot. So my thing here, people, my thing here is, you can see my cursor, okay? You can see my cursor, correct, right? First goal. Everyone's lined up, bang in a straight line, got a nice high line, and you know the ball is going to go into this area here. I hope you can see my cursor. You know the ball is going to go into this area here, okay? You know that. My concern here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of my 7 in a line are facing the wrong way. They've not even opened out. They're not on the side. So literally the ball is over there and they are facing that way. Whereas, so you don't know where your defender is. So I'm imagining that it's zonal marking. Can only be zonal marking, right? Can only be zonal marking. However, they have no idea where anyone is. They think that, oh, they're just behind us. If you have a look, so there's one, he's got to be there to deal with Salah, I think it is. Then you've got 1, 2, who are spare. You've got, it looks like Jota, I believe, on Smith Rowe. Then you've got, is that Van Dijk with Van Dijk, and then you've got Gabby, Mane, etc., right? So you've got 2 spare here. No one's organising. Doesn't look like no one's organising to me. And they're facing the wrong way. Gabby needs to be there, so he knows where Mane is, and he can see the ball. So he can sort his feet out. So for me, big error on that one. Really was a big error. You can see what happens here, and then he reacts before Gabby, and then it's too late. He reacts way before Gabby, and just like Curved Glass is saying, ball watching, just simple ball watching and not knowing where the player is. Like it's criminal. And people were talking about these 2 centre-halves being the best. Listen, you know what people are like, getting hyped up, and it's absolutely criminal if you go through and then is a yard behind, and there's not enough space. There's enough time for him to even catch him. And the rest is history. We then go on to, let me have a look to the next one. Make sure I get the numbers right. So Tavares does ever so well. He brings the ball out, all right, people? Make sure you get your comments in. He brings the ball out. Does ever so well. I think Trent tries to nick it off him. Does ever so well, brings the ball out, okay? As he's bringing the ball out, he's looking around to see who he's got in his area, okay? I think this is Lokonga just here, and he completely gets it all wrong. Now I can only think, when he's passed the ball here, right, I can only think he's thinking that Lokonga is running forward, so he's passing it into the space to be run forward, okay? Which everyone would say, oh, Tavares, it's Tavares' fault, okay? Because it looks really bad. It looks really bad. But I think Tavares thinks Lokonga is running forward because he's running forward with the ball. So he's thinking that he's running forward into the space. Anyway, he doesn't run into the space, okay? Goes to Jota. Right, so he's got no chance of getting back now. No chance, especially if his first touch is in there. He's got no chance of getting back. So it's Ben White. Ben White or Gabby, okay? Now, we've all gone through it we know what happened. We know what happened. There you go. There you go. Absolute Chopsville. And shows him on his backside, and then Ramsdale's on his backside as well, okay? I just think it's good centre forward play. Ben White will get hammered, right? But Ben White knows that he has to try and get across as quick as possible, and he has to take that risk. So as much as we was bantering him about his sliding everywhere, if he doesn't go flying in and he gets the shot away, he scores. So he can't take that risk. He has to take the gamble and go all in on the slide tackle and hoping that Jota is going to shoot, but Jota has too much composure, skips round one, and then you see how cool he was, skips round Ramsdale for the next one. All right, let me go to a few of your comments before we move on to the other ones as well. But like you say, it's just my insight of certain things, of gameplay. Ramsdale should have saved it. You think he should have saved the Mane one? Interesting. Fran, we call it ball watching. It's tough to save a header bouncing right in front of him, especially. It's a very, very hard save. Rich is saying, big up Fran, hope all is good. Are they not coached at set piece free kicks? I don't get it, schoolboy stuff. I think they're zonal. They must be zonal. Because if they're not zonal, they would be on the side, knowing where the man is, so you've got the line of the balls here, and that it's kind of off your shoulder. And then you would, depending on your positioning, because you're normally at maybe a half a yard, you would then angle your body to get between ball, between ball and man. However, because they're zonal, I actually only think they're only concentrating on the delivery of the ball, and one person in the zonal area will head it. I don't like zonals. I can't stand it. I think you should be man on man. People take responsibility and you win your battle. Simple as that. Simple as that. I tell you, I'm not big. I'm 5'10", probably 5'10", and 5'10", 5'9.5", whatever it is, right? And I was never really ridiculously strong. But sometimes I would just take it on the mantle to mark a 6'5" centre off. And I'd just block him. I stand on his toe. I'd let him know I'm there. I'd rough him up a little bit. Not a free kick. Just let him know you're there. Put him off. Mane just ran in a straight line and headed it in, which was crazy. And the second one for me is poor from Tavares. And you get punished when you play the best. You get punished when you play the best. Jonathan's put, Fran, to be fair on the team, that is the first set piece we've conceded in 10 games. Very true. Very true. They have been very good at set pieces. But I just don't... listen, it's worked for the 10 games. Okay? So there's no reason to change the 10 games. So I get people's point. I get the point. I really, really do. Kings put, shocking tactics, no reaction from the coach is a real red flag. When do we ever change a loss to a win with this manager? We haven't won a game going into half-time from behind, which is interesting that we don't have maybe the mindset, the belief. When we go in front, it's very easy to protect that lead. When we go behind, where's the nuts to really say, right, I need to roll my sleeves up and do something here, Should never be getting a free header in the box. Listen, it's easier said than done, but it shouldn't be happening. Darren D's put, unfair to compare 8th team with a title contender, but question is, 2 years in, should be the team conceding goals like that? Listen, like you say, I don't even compare ourselves to Liverpool. I just think there were miles of streets ahead, and that's why I'm not going to go in. I don't go in too much and hammering Arteta's tactics at times, because sometimes someone is just better than you, and they are way better than us. However, you make a good point. We've been 2 years together. We've been 2 years together. That's for sure. So let's then move on. A few of you, Suluk saying that this fault is Tavares, never crossed the ball. Never. See, the thing is, like you say, this one here, though, Saluk, if we go back, let me just go back. It will go back to his fault. We can't deny that, because the pass should have been right. But if we just go back to here, he wins the ball here. He's charging forward. He's expecting Lokonga to be moving forward. But Lokonga's standing still. Lokonga's actually body shape is facing the wrong way, because what should happen really is Tavares should get the ball. Lokonga should then be looking for the switch here, and there's probably someone else. Or a dink into Aubameyang just behind this. Well, no, that's Aubameyang. A dink into this area. That's what he should be doing. But he doesn't. He stands still. He's static. So Tavares all day, because the pass is terrible. But I actually think he's thinking Lokonga's going to move forward. That's what I think he's thinking. And it makes it look so worse than what it actually is. Inexperienced players on a big stage. I've been saying this for weeks. Aubameyang went missing in this game. Aubameyang's just starved. I mean, we've only created something ridiculous when it's, I think we've created like 7 it's just crazy what it is. Dave's put, Fran, don't blame the players when the whole world knows how bad the manager Arteta is. It's like you're trying to breathe with Hey, listen, it's a combination of both, okay? These players are not as good as Liverpool players. They made mistakes on the day. And also, Arteta at times doesn't get the fight out of them. But this is both. This is both, in my opinion. And I've said that from day one, by the way. I actually think that some of these players are not at the level where we need to be at. They're at the level where they should be at now, you know? That's what I think. Our midfield got overrun by midfield. Yeah, Saturday. Franergy, Partey let Jota walk through. He didn't bother to stop. I think he's too far away, though. If you have a look now, I mean, where's Partey? So Partey's on the front foot. He passes the ball in here now. He's expecting Lokonga to be there. He's also, this is Partey. Partey's also expecting maybe he could pass the ball into here, which is the better option. You look at this. This is huge. This space here is huge. So Tavares actually probably should have passed it into here. What happens? He doesn't, and Partey's never getting back. Look at the gap now. Never getting back. Gap's too big. And it happens so quickly. You've seen it there. He's got no chance. He's got no chance of getting back. So, but interesting how we look at it in different ways. Our mid is very weak, Fran. Wet bread, we need to improve upcoming transfer window. Lost the ball. David put the lazy way of judging the team, how they perform, is to blame the players when Arteta is leading them to war without any form of direction, vision, style of play that brings the best out of the players. I do agree. I do agree that sometimes, and a lot of the time, the manager's tactics don't work. But no one was saying that when they were going on their 10 game run. You know, people were saying now all of a sudden these players are now trusting the manager. These players are now believing what the manager wants them to do. When the fact of the matter is they had 2.5 good games in 10 games. That's what it is. And like I always said, Arteta's not the right man to get us top 4, but I believe that the club believe that he's the right man to get us where we need to get to at this moment in time. Liverpool struggling against more physical, menacing strikers like Antonio and Ivan Toney. What is Aubameyang going to offer in the... Aubameyang is not that type of forward. Aubameyang is soft. As we would say, soft. That's what Aubameyang is. Soft. Serious. David also again put Arteta throws the quality players and quality squad under the bus, and with amateur coaching, the rotation of the team should be more not to get players thrown in the cold with no game time for a long time. Fact, like you say, everyone would coach their players in individual ways. I think chopping and changing, don't get it. You're not in Europe. You don't need to chop and change. Get your strongest team and stick with it. But yeah, Ben White's sliding was outrageous. Absolute outrageous. So let's carry on. I've got my numbers right. 1 minute 12. So 1 minute 12. Where are we now? 1 minute 12 is probably around the next one, is it? Let's have a look. So let's have a look here. Yeah, this is 1 minute 12 now. Ben White here. You can see Ben White at the top. He actually thinks that this flick now, see this flick? Flick is going to go there. So Ben White thinks I need to get tighter to Mane. If you have a look, he goes to take, he's got to do this. Ben White has to go there thinking that this flick is going to go there. And if you have a look closely, the flick doesn't. It comes inside. So it comes inside and then Jota is going to wrap it round the corner. It's already too late now. If you have a look at the body language now, Mane, again, sharp as attack. He's already now knows that he's on his bike. Can't turn in time. It goes into Jota. Now he's facing that way. Mane's facing that way. You got no chance in catching him when he's gone and it's round the corner. Now, it's simple play, okay? It's simple play, but there's not much you can do to stop it. Some would question Partey, not too sure. Now, this for me is where it gets interesting. ESR is here. No, it's not on that goal. Sorry, it's on a different goal. So now, they're level now, but Mane's got the pace. Mane's got the pace. He's got no chance, absolutely zero chance. But this bit here, for me, is just ridiculous. The ball is here. Ben White is now sliding to try and stop the ball going here. Why? Why? You've got zero chance of blocking it. Zero chance. That's just on the break, sharper than us, can't do anything about it. Ben White's gone to read a flick on, which is probably rightly so. 2 touch, bang, it's in the back of the net. Okay? We move on, people, because that one, we couldn't do much about it. You couldn't do much about it. 142. So, I don't know if it's going to go back further enough. It should go back further enough. ESR here, Henderson here. Why is Henderson free in the middle of the park? And I'm going to try and find Lukonga. Why, or was he even on the pitch then? I can't even remember, because like you say. So, look at this here. Just look carefully at this. Look at this area here. This is a centre midfielder, people, right? A centre midfielder of his quality at Anfield. So I'm not sure what people may elaborate and you know, talk to me more about this and give me more of a direction, because like you say, I just hit the highlights, etc., and things like that, right? But why is he with this much space in the box? Now it's gone forward, it's broken down, it goes into Henderson. I just don't understand why he's got so much room. He's got so much room. I think this is Partey. So where's the other midfielder? Lukonga was maybe off then. Is ESR playing more central? Was ESR playing alongside Partey? And this looks like, was that Ødegaard further up? But why is Henderson? Anyway, so Henderson's got all the time in the world. He has time for let it bounce. No one's near him. ESR still not near him. Ball goes over the top. We do well to defend initially. Comes out, a little bit of think, comes out to Salah. ESR is here. Trent Alexander-Arnold is here. Now, I don't know whether you remember, Trent was further back than ESR. That's pure laziness. Has nothing to do with Arteta. Nothing to do with Arteta. So these are the basic things that I'm talking about when footballers. That's just pure laziness. Pure laziness. That's all that is. Pure laziness. So now it's too late. Now it's too late. He's got to see the danger earlier. It's too late now. You're not going to make 3 yards up with only 15 yards left. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Overload one side. ESR now stops. Now, to be fair to ESR's thinking, I'll take Salah. You take the overlap. That's what ESR's done. If you have a look, you can't really see it. It won't probably let me do it. But ESR, because he just doesn't keep running. So he says, right, I'll take the man with the ball in case he cuts inside and tries to whip it in this far corner. Tavares, whoever, take the overlap. Ben White goes flying in again. He's nowhere near the ball. He's got no chance. Bad positioning. This kid's positioning is not great. However, I'm not going to kill him playing against one of the best teams in the country. Okay? And then Minamino puts it in the back stick, etc. 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 So, let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this now, people. And there's my thoughts on the goals, okay? There's my thoughts on the goals. So let me have a look at a few of your comments and what you think when it comes to going on about the goals. Let's have a look. Yeah, make sure you hit the like, people. Make sure you hit the subscribe as well. Let's go into 2022, hitting the ground running. So let's have a look, because I want to see some of David's comments as well. David has put some quite good comments in as well. Let's have a look. Sorry if I've missed any. So Camber Cat and King, I think, are talking. So King is saying, Camber Cat, goal difference is a thing. Mental statement is a thing. If the players feel like they can't compete against Liverpool, it will raise the confidence. Listen, if you know, if you're already going into anything, you're thinking, right, we're playing Liverpool today. If we're not on someone, we're going to get bopped. Then you're going to get bopped. There's no doubt about that. And that's why I don't want to come down on them too hard, because a lot of people will come down on them very, very hard. This is just a reality check for everybody, the fan base, the in and the out, the positive, the negative. This is a reality check that we are where we are. And we need to, I'm seeing people saying best 2 centre-halves in the league at one time. ESR, the De Bruyne. I'm seeing all kinds of nonsense, right? Let's get down. Let's get down and realise where we actually are. Games are won and lost in midfield. Bang on. Arsenal need a 3-man midfield with the right manager, and coaching the system of play would fit Arsenal squad. Arsenal need real creativity in midfield ASAP. Well, they definitely need someone who can pass the ball from front to back and breaks the lines, gets it deep. They don't have a passer on the ball, that's for sure. If you can't win the game, don't get embarrassed, don't concede unnecessary goals. We got ram-ragged, didn't we? Jonathan's, but I think Tavares' sense of awareness was pretty low on this, Fran. Look what he did running away from Salah. Listen, we got Tavares for a decent price, okay? He's a great athlete. He's very young. He's very naive. He's miles away from being where he needs to be at. And you can tell, because he's going to be one of those players who will have a good 3 or 4 games when everything's going right. Then he'll have a stinker for 3 or 4 games. He's that type of player. There's no doubt. And he needs to learn to relax on the ball a little bit more. But he definitely got strengths. He's definitely got the potential to be better and a good player, because he's got all the attributes. He's just got to take his time a little bit more. Liverpool play 4-3-3, Man City play 4-3-3, Bayern play 4-3-3, the most successful team in history have played 4-3-3. Like it or not, but that's the truth. Savage, I fully agree. I'm a 4-3-3 man, 4-4-2 when backs are against the wall. That's what I am. Because everyone knows their roles. Why is Tavares running to the ball instead of staying with Salah? On this one, so on the last one, he's just getting his ball, he's getting drawn to the ball, because he's not understanding. So what, football, it's very easy when you watch football. When you're playing it, it happens in a split second. And the minute that the communication is down, the minute that you switch off or you're not aware, it costs you. You concede goals or it just happens. You lose games. Tavares is not experienced or intelligent enough at the moment to understand or read the game. I don't know, Fran, he's 50 metres away from the goal. Let him pick it up, then get burnt like Mark Bagel this morning. Maitland-Niles bombing on as he normally does. Listen, you know what I think about Maitland-Niles? I think he's bang average. I don't think he's Arsenal quality. Partey was bang average. Listen, you get found out when you play against the best. Fran, be careful what you say, because the bias have to stop, literally. Bad managers, in the end of the day, make world-class players play you-know-what. To blame the players is lazy and wrong. Stop the bias. Listen, you know me, I'm far from biased. But if the players are lazy, that has nothing to do with tactics. That has nothing to do with the manager. That's an individual decision. Do players look better or worse in certain systems? 100%. Do managers get the best and the worst out of players? 100%. However, laziness is an individual choice. Individual choice. So we must not blame Arteta when the players are lazy and then give praise on the players when the players win. We must have a fair balance. I fully agree that Arteta is not the best coach. I think some of his ideas, the way that he wants to play, our players are not good enough to play that way. I think he should simplify it. But laziness, lack of awareness, individual mistakes has nothing to do with Arteta. That's the individual's decision. That's what and that's throughout anything, whether it's any type of sports or whatever it may be, or work or anything like that. All the respect, feel sorry for Arsenal fans, to be honest, that have to see Arteta's style of play. That is the worst we have ever seen in the history of the game. The worst ever manager, Arteta. I think the style of play is dire. That is one thing that I've got to agree with. Is that why we brought Ødegaard? Well, we brought Ødegaard because he's supposed to be the creative one, but we can't get the ball to him. So he might as well stay at home. Because he's making... And what did I say, people? Everyone said to me, Fran, what do you mean he shouldn't sign for Arsenal? It'll ruin his career. I said, because we can't play the way that he would like to play. There's only 2 teams I think he can play for. free. And they're the ones that your Man Cities, they're not even Chelsea as much, or your Liverpools. They're the only teams. And he wouldn't play every game. They're only teams he could play for because they're the only teams who can get the ball to him. And when he gets the ball, they're the only teams who would have options. We don't play that way. We don't play that way. So I've said it. Ødegaard signing for Arsenal will be a big, big mistake for him. Huge mistake. Now he can't get in the team because we don't play that way. We do not get the ball and do triangles. We do not get the ball and people run off shoulders. We do not have triangles around the pitch. We're lucky if we have a square, never mind a triangle around the pitch. So, again, nice, looks all right, but he doesn't fit into that puzzle. Football is all about players fitting into puzzles. Now, if you get the right manager and plays a certain way, it looks $1 million. Like Pogba. Do not be surprised if Pogba stays and looks $1 million now. Because he looks woeful till he got injured. He had 2 good games at the beginning of the season. And everyone was telling it was a system and everyone was telling it was Ollie. Now, he has crazy talent and I get that. But he's lazy. And you can't be lazy. You can't be lazy. It's like people forget that you have to work hard to be good at something, you know? Wasn't Ødegaard bought to provide creativity? He was, but you can't get the ball to him. You just can't get the ball to him. And now the kid won't play. The kid won't play. Boyton's put Fran on his question, how are we supposed to win games? We have a way not to lose with Ramsdale and Gabby on form. How do we win? Look uninspired when on the offense. Listen, I've always said, if your goalkeeper is man of the match, it's not a good sign. People are going on about, oh, he's amazing, he's done this. He's done great. You don't want your goalkeeper to be making all these amazing saves. You want your goalkeeper to be hardly making a save. Because his job is to save the goal. You don't want him to be making loads of saves. People have got it wrong way around. You know? It's not good. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable to nick a 1-0, nick a 2-0 and rely on other teams to be terrible. It's just not sustainable. And you will come unstuck when you're playing against the best. Now, don't get me wrong. I've praised for this run. But I've not got ahead of myself because this run has been limped through. And we've had 2.5 good games, you know? What's happening, Static? Hope you are well. Ash's put, we have a dysfunctional midfield. That's why no number 10 can thrive in this team. KDB would struggle in this team. And you make a point. Look what happened to Ozil. We got rid of players around him. It wasn't to his, it didn't suit him. He then decided, you know, I'm done here. I'm done with this place. Then they had the issue with sponsors, etc. Whatever happened behind the scenes. And then we went from there. There's only certain teams who play these creative midfielders, these attacking 10s. And they don't play every game. You know, when people talk about Man City, they talk about all these players. Listen, these players can play in any position. Foden plays a false 9, a 10, a right winger, a left winger. Kevin De Bruyne can play in any position. Any position. Bernardo Silva. Sometimes he can't even run fast and he'll play on the wing. Because when they get the ball, they have 4 options. 3 minimum. And that's down to hard work. That cannot happen unless you are not fit as a fiddle. Liverpool and Man United and Man City are the fittest teams in this league. Some would argue Chelsea are fit, but Chelsea play a different type of way. I think they've got a different fitness. And it sounds kind of strange, but it's not all fitness is the same. They have a different fitness. Chelsea are very good at straight back in. Their work, a lot of it is offensive when they lose the ball. Man City, yes, they've got that, but they work the hardest when they have the ball. People think you need to work the hardest when you don't have the ball. It's when you have the ball that you need to work the hardest, you know? God, we're going 40 minutes already, people. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. We're going 40 minutes already. I've not missed anything, have I? No, I've not missed any. Let's have a look. Social saying, I want to see who Arteta signs as a forward. He has signed the right players everywhere. Listen, I think we're only a forward missing and a creative midfielder. I can tell you that. Social. That's what I believe. But we're nowhere near where we need to get to the top. Marvo, by the way, Chelsea support always comes in. Secret Arsenal supporter. Fran, that unbeaten run was a fluke. You lot still got four goal difference. Come on now. Listen, and I said limped. I didn't really want to use the word fluke or whatever because that's probably a little bit harsh. Limped through those games. And a lot of people knew that we were limping through that. I don't expect us to beat Liverpool. And that hurts me to say that, but I don't. I'm realist. I don't expect us to beat Liverpool. What I expect us to do is put up a better performance with a little bit of fight. And I've said from day one, when I started this YouTube and started, because we speak about other stuff, but mainly Arsenal, I started from day one and saying teams normally replicate the manager, of the way that the manager is as a personality. This team replicates that manager's personality. We don't come from behind. We don't get in people's faces. We don't outwork and beast teams. That's Mikel Arteta. That's Mikel Arteta. And if there are Mikel Arteta fans in here, I'm not turning around and saying all of a sudden he should be gone, because that's unfair, because he's done quite well recently. All right. What I'm saying is, like Ben White, when everyone's saying Ben White is better than so and so, and Ben White is better than this, and we got Ben White for that. And I tried to say, listen, when Ben White faces a proper team, you will see why he didn't play every week for Brighton. And I said, I'm not convinced. That's all I said. And people jump down my throat left, right, which they're entitled to, by the way. I'm not saying that you're not entitled to. However, must understand what I'm trying to see. And when I'm wrong, I'll hold my hands up. Fully hold my hands up, 100%. So look, so why did Arteta waste 35 million on Ødegaard when we needed another? No idea. And I'm a fan of Ødegaard. And if I could have phoned him, if I was still in the agent game, I'd have phoned him and said, this is not the team for you. It's not the team for you. King saying that he thinks we need two midfielders. I think we need two midfielders, definitely. Can't believe we're going to give this bum another 100 million in January. Social, these players haven't got a lot of time to gel, so chemistry is bound to be off. Listen, he's building his team. We was told that when he gets his team, we were on a journey, etc. And I fully get that. And we've just played someone who's going to be challenging for the league. So I'm not going to go in and start hammering. And we've got Newcastle. If we don't win Newcastle, then we've got a problem on our hands, haven't we? Let's be honest, because they're really struggling. Even the new manager bounce. Yes, they're going to have fight. They're going to have enthusiasm, but we should have enough quality to beat Newcastle, and I think we will. I think we will beat Newcastle. I'd be wrong to say we wouldn't. However, I do think that a lot of people have been humbled. And I think it's harsh for us to go on Arteta, etc. Just don't think, listen, we got beat by Liverpool. It wasn't our day. And we have to move on from that. But how do we get to that level? How do we get back to that level, people? I'm not going to do player ratings because you know what? They're crap. I'm 2s and 3s and 4s. That's all you're getting. And I don't want to waste your time. You're getting 2s and 3s and 4s. And the press conference that he had, it's the same old stuff, the same old nonsense and waffle settings. So I'm wasting my valuable spirit and energy on that nonsense. But where do we go from here, people? Tell me in the chat, if you had the manager's job for 12 months, what would you do? If you had the manager's job, and if you're watching this, by the way, after the stream, tell me in the comments below, what would you do if you was the manager of Arsenal Football Club? What would you do? Let me know. Good job Emery didn't take the Newcastle job. Oh, he'd probably beat us if he did. We think Saka gets on other clubs. Oh, sorry, missed that. Let me go back up. We think Saka gets in other top clubs' first 11s. He won't get in Leicester's team. Not at the moment. Saka's not getting... Listen, Saka's good. Okay, but again, fan base overhype people. Saka is no Greenwood. Saka is no Foden, in my eyes. They're deadly. They're deadly. Their decision making is miles ahead of Saka. Saka is a good young player. He's a good young player. And he does very, very well for England because maybe that style of play suits him on the break. But he's just not the same this season. He's going for a tough time. Young kids, when they're expected to do something, I've said it many times in the stream, when young kids come on the scene, 18, 19, 20, no one really puts any pressure on them. They can go and do what they want. As soon as they have a good season, the next seasons after that are the most important. So we'll see how ESR does for the remainder of this season and the next season. When now it's expected, now he's signed that big money move, that big money deal that he's been expecting. Where are they hungry enough now to go to the next level, to keep getting in training early, to leave last, to want to be the best? Because that's where I struggled. That's where I struggled. As soon as I signed a decent deal for my age at the time, I was struggled to motivate myself to play for the next level because I was sitting on a 4-year deal. And I came from, we don't come from a lot. I was okay, but we don't come from a lot. So once I got a nice little paycheck, I could afford the little Merc and the wash bag and the sliders with socks. All of a sudden, I was comfortable. That's where I went wrong. And that's where a lot of young players go wrong. So we've got to be aware that now the expectation is on these players. Does the fear kick in? And the fear is the biggest cause of the, it will stop you from progressing. Fear is the biggest problem. It'll stop you from progressing. So we will see how these boys get on. We really will. Marbo's put, can't lie, I wanted Liverpool to lose, but this humbling needed the things I was hearing from weeks during so-called impressive unbeaten run, etc. And listen, I know football fans, it's life for a lot of people, right? It's life for a lot of people. It means so much more than just a game. It means so much more than just a sport, right? I fully understand that and emotionally invested in this. But deluded positivity is not going to do anyone any good. Deluded positivity. Ollie B saying, I think we need to be patient and hopefully the coaches and Arteta will improve these players. Rebuilding the squad is how we get back to some level because these players we have now only play against Tottenham. I would get rid of everyone but Ramsdale and Gabby. Wow. Why are fans so obsessed with United? They were way bigger than us and will be winning a title before us. I think it's because we always used to have that old rivalry. We've got a super chat. Oh, super chat from Carl. Oh, where are we? Did I miss that? Why is it not showing up? That super chat? Here we are. Big shout out to Carl. Massive respect, Carl Welsh. Really do appreciate it. Thank you for all your support in the community. Really do appreciate it. Carl has put, Fran, we need a manager change with more attacking style. We look boring to watch and we never look like scoring against Liverpool if we were honest. Now listen, firstly, it was always going to be a very, very hard test to score against Liverpool. We had a couple of opportunities where we off break, but the decision making again was very, very weak. Now, the problem that we have, Carl, when it comes to what type, if it was to get the manager, say for example, they had enough and they said, right, we need a manager. You look at Conte's gone into Spurs, and if you watch the Spurs game yesterday, they look very scared to try things, especially the first half. Second half, they decided backs are against the wall. We're getting cornered. We're getting pinned in. We're getting booed. We need to fix up. Conte was going like this with a crowd. Conte was in people's faces. That's how he is. Now, Arteta is a very, very different manager from that. And Arteta needs time. But we've gave him so much time, and now he's rebuilding a new squad. If we have a nightmare second half of the season, which hopefully we don't, and you do change the manager, are these players good enough to work with a manager who is going to demand the 100%, 110% every training session? I think it was Reguilon was saying he's never ran so much in training since Conte has came to the club. Will these players react in that way? Because these players all look like to me is everything's nice. The manager will maybe go out with the players for a night out and things like that. That shouldn't be happening. You know, maybe the assistant, but that shouldn't be happening. So we'll see what happens in the future. Again, never lasts forever, as we always know. And it's going to be interesting to see how they react to this game. the Newcastle game is perfect for them to react to this game. Perfect. Because even if they half turn up and stay in first gear, they're probably gonna win the game. So the attacking style and the way that we play is dreadful. We don't create enough chances. We're not good to watch. That's why Odegaard can't play in this team. ESR is the only one who looks exciting when he gets the ball in good areas. Partey is struggling. Now, when people tell me Arteta has a system, the players start to gel, which evidently players have started to gel. And the players do look like they were starting to believe in what Arteta wants them to do. It's still not nice to watch. It's still not exciting to watch. Now, people might say, yeah, but Fran, do you want a team that looks good and loses? Or do you want a team that doesn't really play well and wins? Well, can't we have a team that looks good and wins? Why does it have to be the options that realistically you know the answer? Why can't we have the option that looks good and wants to win, you know? But big shout out to Carl for the chat. And there you go. Social as always, showing love to the community. Lacabra's put, as a coach, I would give Saka, Abba, ESR 60 minutes where they give it all and then replace them with Martinelli, Pepe, Odegaard. Laka has to stay on the pitch. He is the heartbeat. And I feel that. I don't know what's going on with Martinelli. Olibi and Sahar has had a way better EPL season than... Sahar's proper. We know that. I know he's getting on a little bit and his legs will start to slow down, but Sahar is proper. Big shout out to Sentiment in the chat. Endon Goon is saying, I told you on Friday, Fran, I saw the signs of negative football style in the Watford game, and you did. Bang on to Endon Goon, and he said we'd get slapped. Sulak has put, it's tough to get out of bed to do road work at 5 a.m. when you've been sleeping in silk pajamas, Marvin Angler. And it's tough for a lot of people who are in that level. 19th in the league for goals scored from open play. Ramsdale every game. It's not sustainable. Bang on. It's not sustainable. It's not, is it? Let's be honest. It's like when you always getting away with a draw, or you're nicking 1 wins, or you have a run of games where the teams are shocking and you do all right, like what we've had. It's not sustainable. And the only things that are sustainable are systems, patterns of play, a way of playing. Not off, and it's not off the cuff, right? They would have worked on ways to play against Liverpool all week. And you know what? You're playing against Liverpool. Even we would run out of ideas. We're not coaches, some of us may wish to be. I don't. But you can go out there with all the ideas in the world. But if individuals don't work hard and individuals make errors like Tavares and people being lazy, etc., then it doesn't matter what work you do on the training pitch all week. It's going to cost you. Definitely going to cost you. Our fans' identity is made up of hating United. As long as United are bad, some of our fans don't care. You've got to remember, we have different generations of fans as well, SK. You're going to have the generation before me, who Arsenal were winning all the time. You're then going to have me with the Invincibles, with Henry. Before that, with Wright, Emmanuel Petit, Vieira, who we're used to people getting in people's faces. Martin Keown. I mean, I played against Martin Keown one time in a friendly, and he was treating me like he treated Van Nistelrooy that day. That type of character. The game has changed. Now we've got a generation of fans who have never really seen that and never really understand how good the football is when Bergkamp played and Overmars and these players and history settings. And I don't want to go back on history settings. Even the fact Ozil, Sanchez, Van Persie, we don't play that way no more. So I think people have just become acceptance to this mediocre of not challenging for a very, very long time, and not getting themselves worked up because they can't control it, etc. Jonathan's put, Fran, I think the biggest problem also is Abba. Arteta is making it to be a problem because he don't have the profile yet. Abba is not Arteta type of player, yet he don't get benched or subbed over Laka. 100% agree. Sometimes he should be coming off and he should get dropped. He should get dropped. If you're not playing well, he should get dropped. I've got to be honest. What's King saying? Because the social said something about King. Let me go back to King's as he put a good comment in. I'm not sure. Missed it, King. Sorry if it's a good comment. Missed it. Boyton's put Saka loves Arteta, has given him a complicated script to run. Also looks like he's running algebra in his head relative to how many defenders are in front of him. The lad isn't just playing. Sometimes you've got to simplify it. Tell players, this is what you do when you get the ball. This is what you do when you don't get the ball. Job done. Job done. And when you ask players to overthink, it can be hard work. It can be hard work because they never know when to go. They never know when to come back. They don't know whether to squeeze. They don't know where to drop off. They don't have to nick it around the corner. They don't know how to get it back. They really don't know. And you make some good points, people. Good points. David, again, with some great comments, by the way, David, today. Some good input. Love to see when Fran talks with pure passion for the game. We all love that. We all call football, but Arsenal have the owners that call the sport. We all love soccer, and that tells a whole story. Savage. I actually like the name soccer, but it doesn't sound right. 57 watching, only 47 likes. Come on, people, hit the like. Let's get people out there knowing about what it's all about to be in here. So make sure you hit that like button. Social, as always, with great support. When's the next crypto video dropping? I dropped one this morning because obviously Bitcoin had a mad move back down under 60. I'm not even sure what it's doing at the moment now. It's probably struggling to get back up to 60. I do think it's probably got another drop down, to be honest. Yeah, it's at 57.5. It said that burst up. I'm not in any trades at the moment. I'm just taking my time studying, and then hopefully the new year will do well. But it's at 57.5. So go and check that out if you're into your crypto. I just talk about what's going on with the crypto news, which might help. And if you do want to get into trading, reach out and let me know. I can send you in the right direction to some people who do day trade, who I follow and study from. And eventually next year we will probably have our own trading course if you are interested in trading cryptos or forex, etc., anything like that. So thanks for reaching out. Marvo's put Fran, Pepe or Pulisic. I see this comparison all the time. Oh, sorry, I've just gone, because the wife's brought the dinner in. But I'm nearly finished now anyway. I would go for Pulisic, like Pulisic a lot. I like Havertz a lot as well. Ollie B's put, we still need another summer transfer window. I think we'll have a squad with more variety and have more creative players. I think Arteta's building the spine first. Listen, he's definitely building. Can't take that away from him. And I just think it's all about patience. But people don't want patience. Like Hendon's saying, 15 years is too long. Big up Fran. For me personally, as long as we beat everyone else outside the top four, I'm okay with that for now. Same as me. I've got to be honest, because I don't expect us to beat anyone in the top four. I really don't. Fran getting baited, obviously going to say Pulisic obviously can't stamp up. No, listen, I think Pulisic is more of a threat than Pepe. Is he a better footballer? No, I think Pepe's a better footballer. Got to admit. Am I going to get more out of Pulisic? I am, you know. What's for dinner? Prawn korma. We'll see how it tastes. You know ball, Fran. Hey, listen, I spent all my life doing it. Nearly 400 league appearances. So I thought I would have some kind of knowledge about the game. In the modern game, football is all about money. Zlatan brings leadership that is crucial for title winning teams. He demands a lot from all the players around him. I mean, it's always been, well, no, it's not always been about money. I will take that back, but since the Premier League started, that's when money started. 1992. It's been about money. So, you know, sick note, Pulisic. What? Fran says something nice about Pepe. No way. No, listen, I think Pepe's very talented. I've said it many times. Very talented, just lazy and not hungry enough for my liking. That's all. And King has put, the next few games will show what Arteta and players are all about. Will they step up or will they panic? Will Arteta keep the formation or will he change it again? And we will end on that one, people. 55 in the chat. Great numbers today. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you're not subscribed, because I have noticed that people do watch the videos and don't subscribe. Just hit the subscribe. I subscribe to channels left, right and centre. Shows a little bit of support for us moving forward. So again, I really do appreciate each and every one of you every single time. Great for Cole for the super chat. Big shout out to yourself. Again, some awesome comments and in the community. David, Social, Sulak, Marvo, Sentiment, everyone putting some really good content. King, as always, contributing. And I will see you all tomorrow. Again, check out the other videos. Check out the other channels. Hit the subscribe. God bless to each and every one of you. And I've got to do my dinner. Have my dinner. And I have to do some reading because I've not done it yet. So again, take care. Blessings to you and your family. And I'll see every one of you tomorrow. You take care.